What's up guys, welcome back to Tradingofftilt. I'm Ryan. In this video we're going to be going over my daily update on Bitcoin, and I'm going to be going through a few Elliott wave counts locally that we could be looking at in this section right here. Basically everything off these lows right here that we put in on the 24th of January. So the first one would be the ABC, this one right here, where we're calling this all a wave A up here, B here, and a C here. This would all be a zigzag. So to count this wave A, we could probably say this is a 1, 2. This would be a very short 3, 4 here, but it doesn't overlap the wave 1, so it is valid. So this would be a 3, 4, and that for a 5. And then this would be a running flat for the wave B for an A, B, C, and then moving up. It's not a very nice impulse, but we have to put the wave 1 here to get proper symmetry. So this would be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up into the wave C. And as I mentioned to you guys in my previous daily updates, I don't really favor this being the top of the wave C because you can't get a nice 5-wave move out of this section right here to give us the last 5 waves of the impulse. So it is a possibility, but it just doesn't look too nice, you know, forcing in a 5-wave structure into here. The way I would do it is saying this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for an ending diagonal, but that's up to debate whether it's valid or not. So then moving off those highs right here, we get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This would be a leading diagonal for the wave 1 for 1, 2, 3, 4, or rather 1, 2. This would be 3 down here, 4 here, 5 here. And then we move up for a wave 2. Looks pretty impulsive, but we have to say this is A, B, C for the wave 2. Then moving off the wave 2, we get 1, 2. You know what? I'm gonna go into the subdivisions with you guys a little bit later, but for now I'm just gonna show you guys that I put the wave 3 down here. This would be the wave 4. Now you could also put the wave 3 here for an A, B, C for the wave 4, and this would be the wave 5 down here. So given this count, what we're basically going to be looking for, if we zoom out to the hour chart a little bit more, is this is going to be the completion of an impulse. So what this could be is a wave 1 down here. So we could put in a wave 1, which would be all of minuet degree. This would be up for a wave 2. And then we're going to be coming down for a 3, 4, 5. That's the most likely situation if we did get a 5-wave impulse off these highs right here. So it would look something like this, where we got a wave 1, we're probably going to be coming up for wave 2, and given the impulsive structure that we've gotten off these lows, this could probably be an A, B, C for the wave 2 in the form of a zigzag. So we're going to go into that a little bit later, but that's generally what we're going to be looking for given the impulsive nature of this move right here. So a zigzag would be a 5, 3, 5. So once we complete this impulse here, we could expect a 3-wave move back and then a 5-wave move up to complete the ABC. So that's what we're looking at for this count for the ABC. Now let's go into some other counts we could be looking at, and that's going to include some bearish, rather some bullish counts we could be looking at. So I'm going to hide this for now. And the first bullish count we could be looking at would be this one right here. Where we could count up for a 1, 2. This would be a 3, 4, 5. So same subdivisions as I showed you guys for the 1 and the 2, except we're putting the 3 right here for a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this looks a lot like a wave 4. The only downside is it doesn't have a lot of symmetry with this wave 2. You guys could already see this wave 2 is a lot longer compared to this wave 4 in terms of time duration. So that's one downside to this count, but then moving up, we get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to give us this wave 1 to complete this wave 5 right here. And then we move into a WXY, which would be an expanded flat, into a wave X, which would be a pretty impulsive wave X. But like I said, we probably have to say A, B, C for the wave X for a zigzag. And then we get a pretty funky zigzag for the wave Y, which would, the best way I have to count it really would be saying this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the wave A, up for the wave B, which would probably be A, B, C for a flat, then down for the wave C. And the wave C, upon first look, it looks very short, but it actually comes to the 0.618 of the wave A. So if we compare the length of the wave A to the top of the wave B, and then we show you guys the 0.618, it actually comes to the 0.618. So technically the target to look out for a zigzag would be the 1 to 1, but the 0.618 is also another good target to be looking out for. So it does make sense. It does make sense that this could be a wave A, this could be a B, and this could be a wave C. Now what we're going to be looking at for this count if we zoom out a little bit more so we're on the 1 hour chart, we could be looking for us to come out for this wave 3. So this could be a minute wave 1. We came down for a minute wave 2, which actually makes a lot of sense because for wave 2s, you want to see sharp corrections, at least past or at least down to the 0.618 typically, or the 0.5, which I can show you guys real quick, would be the 50% retracement level or the 61.8% retracement level. And we clearly came past that, past the 0.786. So that's a pretty typical retracement for a wave 2. So it would make sense that this could be the completion of a wave 2. And what we would be expecting is for us to come up for this wave 3 up here, and it would probably be around the 1.618 of the wave 1. So if we're assuming the wave 2 ended right here, then we're going to take the length of the wave 1. And the orthodox top is right here to clarify. It would not be right here if we're considering the end of wave 5 right here. So we're going to compare it to the bottom of wave 2 if we're assuming it ended right here. And it should be about 1.618 times the length of wave 1. So that would be up here around 55K. That could be a good target for the wave 3 because that's a pretty typical target for the wave 3, especially because wave 3s tend to be the extended wave within an impulse. So what we want to be looking at to verify that this count is correct is the volume as we make our way up for this wave 3, because if this is indeed a wave 3, then we want to see increasing volume as opposed to steady or decreasing volume, which you would see in a correction. So in theory, since we're entering, this could be the wave 1 of this wave 3, we're going to come down for wave 2, up for wave 3, and if this is the third of the third, in theory we should get the highest volume out of this whole impulse, even the wave 5, because this would be the third of the third. The third wave is typically the extended wave, so this should give us the most volume. So if we do get decreasing volume instead of increasing volume, then that's going to be more indicative of this perhaps being a wave C, in which case I'll hide this. This could all be an A, B, C. Then we could get a rejection in the case that this is a 1, 2, and we're coming down for a 3. However, if we do get increasing volume up here, when we get a pullback, then we get another move up, then that's going to be an indication that this is a wave 3 as opposed to a wave C in the case of a zigzag. So that's what we could be looking at to kind of give us an indication that this is a wave 3 as opposed to a wave 2 correction if this is all wave 1. So I'm going to go into the next count, and that would be another bullish count we could be looking at. That would be calling this all a zigzag. Now, I'm not a huge fan of this because, first of all, we have to call this all a wave 5 up here. This would have to be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up into these highs to give us this menu at wave 5. And then we get a wave A, which is, it's a pretty ugly wave A, to be honest. If you're calling this a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you kind of have to force a 5-wave move into this wave A to give us that impulse, or rather to give us that motive wave. So I'm not a huge fan of it, but it is a possibility. And I mean, it really makes the most sense given all things considered. So then moving up for this wave B, we get an ABC. Then moving down for the wave C, we get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into this wave C right here. Actually, I need to adjust it because we came a little bit lower. So the way we would count it down probably is saying this is all a 3, 4. And this is a wave 5. So this could be perhaps, no, this can't be a diagonal. This is most likely a part of a correction. If we put the wave C here and this wave 5 here, and yeah, this could be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into this wave 3. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna have to reorder it a little bit, but basically what we were looking at is this is a wave 1 up here. This is a wave 3 down here, extended wave 3, wave 4, wave 5. And that would give us the wave C of this zigzag, which would be A, B, C, like you guys could already see. And that's going to give us the same result that I showed you guys earlier, in which case we bottomed out right here for wave 2. But we just did it in the form of a zigzag. Now, I'm not a huge fan of calling this a zigzag, like I mentioned. First of all, because of this, and then second of all, because this wave C is so long. So we could take a look. It already comes past the two, so 2 times the length of wave A. But if we, let's see. Let's go to the 3. It comes almost to the 3. I think it comes past the 2.618. So that's a very long target. That's a very long wave C of a zigzag. That's more typical of a wave 3, in which case this would be a 1, 2, 3, as opposed to this being a wave C. So that's something we need to pay attention to and kind of watch out for, that this is an ABC and this is a 1, 2, 3, or this is all a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the next count I'm going to go into is also another bullish count that we could be looking at, and I'm actually a pretty big fan of this count overall, and that's going to be calling this all a truncated wave 5, and it actually makes a lot of sense because first of all, we get a very impulsive wave 5 right here for a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we get a very steep correction, which is very typical of what you would expect if you get a truncated wave 5, because truncated wave 5s show weakness in trend. So because you get weakness in trend, you need to expect a very sharp correction, which is what we got. We came past the 0.786. We came all the way down almost to the 0.886, which is a very low target to be looking for wave 2. So it makes a lot of sense, all things considered. Now, the way we would count this is by saying this is an expanded flat for the wave 4. Then this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the wave 5. Then we get, so I'm not a huge fan of saying this is an A, B, C, and saying this is a wave B right here. I think it makes a little bit more sense putting the wave A down here. This is a possibility, so I wanted to show you guys it is a possibility to say this is a wave B as so. Perhaps it's some sort of triangle for A, B, C, D, E. However, I don't think it makes a lot of sense given the time it took to complete wave B is so short. So it makes more sense to me putting wave A all the way down here. And saying this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into this wave A. This would be probably an A, B, C for the wave B for a flat. And this would be the final wave C. That makes more sense to me than saying that's an A, B, C, or a B wave right here. So that's really the fourth count that I wanted to go over today. Now, I have to say I'm kind of favoring this count the most out of the other counts that I showed you guys, at least the bullish counts, because it makes a lot of sense putting this as a truncated wave 5, since it looks more impulsive, and we also got a very steep correction to summarize. So whether you go with this count or the other counts, they kind of give you the same results. So it doesn't really matter at the end of the day, but I kind of like this count the most, I have to admit. But then I basically going into what I'm expecting to happen is if this is a B, C, and this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the case of this count, then like I mentioned, we need to be looking for a wave 2 retracement. If this is simply, like I mentioned earlier, this is a 1, we're coming up for a 2, which is probably going to be an A, B, C, down for a 3, 4, 5. And what we need to be looking at, just to reiterate, is the volume. So if we get decreasing volume or steady volume into this area right here, which would be around the golden pocket, this would be a pretty major zone of resistance right here. The golden pocket, it also comes into this kind of structural support right here, the bottom of this wave 1. And also we have a naked point of control around there. However, we do have a daily level right above this, so there is a potential to bounce if this is an A, B, C, where this might be the wave A, or it could be the wave 1, and we get a rejection up here. I believe we have a daily level right here. Yep, so we might get a swing failure pattern above this high right here if this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we get a rejection, and then up for the wave C or the wave 3. Now, if this is a wave C, we might top out right here. This is a pretty strong level of resistance to be looking out for. So that would be what I'm looking out for. But if we go above that, we could be looking for perhaps this daily level up here. Let's see what else we have. We have these weekly levels here. So that's going to be, we could extend this zone even a little bit more, maybe even up here. And that's going to be a pretty strong level of resistance to break past. If we get past it, it might actually kind of give us an indicator that this is a wave 3 as opposed to wave C. Especially looking at the volume profile, if we break past these levels on increasing volume, that's going to give us that's going to give us some confidence that this may be an impulse as opposed to a correction. So I'm going to go on to the lower time frames for you guys to show you what I'm looking at. And if this were to not be an ABC and it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, in that case, we're just going to be looking for it to come all the way up here for wave 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to zoom into the 15-minute chart for you guys and show you guys what we could be looking at on the local time frame. And what I'm looking at for this being an impulse is this being a 1, 2. This is probably a 3, 4, because you can't really get a 3, 4 elsewhere with proper symmetry with the 1, 2. So this is probably a 3, 4 here. And given how fast this wave 3 went up, it's possible we get a truncated wave 5, in which case we don't take out the end of this wave 3. Just looking at this wave 3, given the experience I've had in Bitcoin, how this wave 3 looks, typically we get truncated wave 5s when wave 3s kind of shoot up like this. So I shouldn't say typically, but it's more likely you get a truncated wave 5. So we have to wait and see. I mean, this could already be a 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5 into this wave 5. We have to kind of wait and see a little bit. But otherwise, we're going to be looking for this wave 5 to come a little bit higher. And then we get a rejection. So it could be around that daily level, which is just right above this high right here. So we might just come right above it, pop above it, and then come back down. And what I'm looking for a retracement, once we top out for this impulse wave up here, and then come down for a wave 2 or a wave B, in the case this is an ABC, is first of all, this is going to be my first target, the bottom of this range right here. So we can consider this wave 4 all a range right here. Let's adjust this pivot. Yeah, so we can consider the bottom of this channel right here a good target to be looking out for, because if we fall below this order block right here, or this range right here, then we don't have a lot of volume built up in this zone right here. You know, between this zone of support down here and this zone of support right here. So I would most likely expect either a swing failure pattern below this low, or if we don't get that, then probably a dump down all the way to this order block right here. You know, you might not call it an order block, but rather just an area of support down here, because we just don't have any volume support built up here. So a potential trade we could be looking at, now no financial advice of course, this is just for educational purposes, but if we do get a rejection up here and we start getting a drop down, we could be looking to buy around the bottom of this range, around here. And you want to have your stop loss a little bit below this wick right here in case we do get a swing failure pattern. And then you're going to be targeting up here for the wave C or the wave 3. So you probably want to take profits at the 1-to-1 or the 0.618 of this move right here. And that's basically what I'm looking at on the local time frame. That's basically all I wanted to go over for today. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next video and in the Discord server. Take care. Bye.